What is going on, Genshin fam? In today's video we are going to be doing a build guide and damage showcase on the best doctor in Teyvat from Boo Boo Pharmacy. We've been waiting for him since 1.1, and that is Baizhu. Now Baizu's kit revolves around semi-shielding and healing with some Dendro application added in there. The beauty of it though is that since he is Dendro, he's also a catalyst user, so you can build him as a supportive healer unit and use him as a driver for many team comps. So in this video we are going to be focusing on the supportive side build and also a main DPS build and damage showcase. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now for talents, Baizhu does have a 4-hit combo on his normal attack, and his normal attacks aren't like many other catalyst users besides Heizu. They are melee based. His multipliers are basic catalyst multipliers. He's not a Kokomi or a Klee where you're getting huge numbers, but he is Dendro, so again you have those reactions to set up some damage. Baizu's elemental skill, Universal Diagnosis. He controls a Gossamer sprite that cruises and attacks nearby opponents, dealing Dendro damage. After it performs 3 attacks, or if there are no other opponents nearby, the sprite will return, healing all nearby party members based on Baizu's max HP. This elemental skill looks really great on paper. It has pretty good multipliers on the healing side of things, which is based off his max HP. The skill damage isn't, it's based on his normal attack, crit rate, crit damage. Cooldown is 10 seconds, but you basically have a mini Barbara all in an elemental skill, which is awesome. Now for his elemental burst, Holistic Revivification. Enters the pulsating clarity state, creating a seamless shield that absorbs Dendro damage with 250% effectiveness. While in this state, Baizhu will generate a new shield every 2.5 seconds. The shield will heal your own active character based on Baizu's max HP and attack opponents by unleashing Spirit Vines, dealing Dendro damage under the following circumstances: when the shield is expired or shattered, or when a new shield is generated. Now his healing is based off again his max HP. The Spirit Vine damage, his regular attack, crit rate, crit damage. Pulsing clarity duration is 14 seconds, cooldown 20 seconds, so 6 seconds of downtime, and energy costs at 80. Now, I wouldn't think of Baizhu as an actual shielder, more he's resisting to interruptions because his shield is so weak, but he is going to be such an amazing healer, and another Dendro catalyst is just another driver for many team comp. Now for passives, 5 Fortunes Forever. Basically, when your active character has HP equal to or more than 50%, Baizhu will gain 25% Dendro damage bonus, a little bit of damage in there for him. And when the active character's HP is less than 50%, Baizhu will gain 20% healing bonus. Now, for his second passive, All Things Are of the Earth. When characters are healed by his seamless shield, each 1000 max HP that Baizhu possesses that does not exceed 50k will increase all Dendro reaction damage. With Bloom, Hyper Bloom, Burgeon, or Burning, it will increase by 2%, while Aggravate and Spread will be increased by 0.8. Now for constellations, and just have to say he works amazing at C0, cons are just a little extra. His C1, Attentive Observation. Universal Diagnosis gains 1 additional charge. Having another elemental skill ready on hand is great for some extra healing, extra Dendro application, and also you don't have to build as much energy recharge into Baizu's kit, letting you focus on other things like HP or elemental mastery. Now for his C2, when your own character hits a nearby opponent with their attacks, Baizhu will unleash a Gossamer Sprite Splice. This splice will initiate 1 attack before returning, dealing 250% of Baizu's attack as Dendro damage and healing for 20% of Universal Diagnosis Gossamer Sprite normal healing. Damage dealt this way is considered elemental skill damage. This effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds, so you are telling me you don't even have to switch into Baizhu to get some Dendro application or some healing. This is just an insane constellation, and for it to being C2 is just perfect. Now for Baizhu C4, Ancient Art of Perception. For 15 seconds after Holistic Revivification, his elemental burst is used, Baizhu will increase all nearby party members' EM by 80. Not my favorite constellation if I'm going to be honest. His C6, Elimination of Malicious Chi. Increases the damage dealt by Holistic Revivification Spirit Vines by 8% of Baizu's max HP, so now his damage is taken taking consideration of his HP. And additionally, when the Gossamer Sprite or Gossamer Sprite Splice hits opponents, there is a 100% chance of generating one holistic revivification Seamless Shield. This effect can only be triggered once by each Gossamer Sprite or Gossamer Sprite Splice. This isn't my favorite constellation. All you do is get a little bit more damage based off Baizhu's max HP and some more damage on his elemental burst, but that's about it. In all honesty, C1 and C2, he is very front loaded on constellation. Now for Baizhu's artifact sets, for his support artifact set, you can do a 2-piece HP 20%, another HP 20%, or a 2-piece energy recharge like the Emblem of Severed Fate. For 4 pieces for his support, the full piece Noblesse Oblige, the Deepwood, and the Ocean Hued Clam set are all viable options. Just depends on your need. If you need some more attack, some Dendro resistance shred, or some bubble pop damage. For this, his sands, you could do HP or energy recharge, HP goblet, and HP or healing bonus circlet. Now for a main DPS artifact sets, a 2-piece option would be the 18% attack, EM, energy recharge, or Dendro damage bonus. For 4-piece option, you can do the Deepwood Memories or the Gilded Dream, and those two are farmable together. Just all depends on which has the better substat. Or you can use a 4-piece Wanderer's Toupee if you are going to be using him as a charge attack DPS, but I wouldn't really recommend it as he's a great driver. For this, you're going to want to run attack percentage or EM on the sands, goblet, dendro damage, and circlet is going to be crit rate. For those substats, you are going to want to focus a lot on energy recharge if you want his burst in the rotation as well. If not, crit rate, crit damage, and some HP is pretty good if you want some extra healing. To weapons. For a supportive Baizhu, of course, he has a 3-star option, which is the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer. It's a great supportive catalyst that has HP subset. You can't go wrong with this. Just go ahead and slap this on and he'll be a great support. Favonius Codus is a great option for him, but you are going to have to build him with a little bit of crit rate because he is energy hungry. We have 2 craftable options for him. We have the Hakushin Ring, which energy recharge, which brings a little bit of boosting to the table, and also the Prototype Amber, which is an insanely great catalyst for Baizhu. Gives him a little bit of energy recharge. If you did get the donut, the Everlasting Moonglow, actually really good catalyst on him, especially if you're using him as a driver. Again, getting that energy recharge and a large HP percentage substat. Now for his own 5-star signature weapon, I can't recommend pulling for this weapon. If you have things like the Prototype Amber for free to play, they really do come close unless you really want it for aesthetic purposes. Moving on to main DPS, and of course we have the Witziff. The best catalyst in the game is just so flexible. He's gonna get a lot from the passive as well with the crit damage substat, and you probably have an R5 in your inventory ready for him. And in all honesty, the color scheme matches pretty good. Sacrificial Fragments is a great catalyst on Baizhu, EM for those spread reactions, and also it does reset his elemental skill when it does hit an opponent, and his skill ticks 3 times. The Black Cliff Agate is an okay weapon on him. It's a great free to play option if you really want to make him a main DPS. The passive on attack is semi-okay. You really want this for the crit damage substat. Same for the Solar Pearl. It's a little bit better, but it is locked behind the battle pass, which does cause real world currency. It has a crit rate substat, and the passive is usable on him. If you did get the Wandering Even Star and you don't have anybody else to put it on, you can use it on Baizhu. It actually looks very good on him, but the passive sadly falls short. I'd rather use the Sacrificial Fragments if you do have that handy. The Oathsworn Eye is a great free-to-play option if you did receive this during the event. A high base attack percentage subset, and it does increase his energy recharge by 48% at R5 for 10 seconds after using an elemental skill. Moving on to 5 stars, 1000 Floating Dreams not only looks great on him, but I believe it's going to perform very well. It does have an EM subset, and the passive is very useful on him, granting him either Dendro damage bonus or more elemental mastery. The Memory of Dust actually can work on him since he does create his own shield, so he will get the benefit from the passive. Just base attack percentage is okay. I'd rather use EM or crit rate, crit damage if we are running a spread DPS. Skyward Atlas is always a solid option with the high base attack percentage subset, and the passive, again, it doesn't have any restrictions. You just slap it on and it activates, granting an increase of elemental damage bonus. The build number 2 is actually a really good option with a high base attack, crit damage substat, and the passive is great for a driver team. The normal attack speed boost and also damage. The Kagura's Verity is an okay option unless you do have C1. The crit damage substat is great as it's pretty high, a great base attack. The passive however does fall short. Again, if you do have C1 though, the passive is manageable with that. The Lost Bear's Sacred Wind in my opinion is going to be a really good option on him with a high crit rate, a little bit lower base attack but a great base attack nonetheless, and it also increases his elemental damage while he is on the field, and if you're running him as driver, he's going to be on the field for quite a bit of time. Now for team comps, his best friend is going to be Kuki Shinobu, who's a melee-based Catalyst user. Kuki is going to apply Electro very smoothly for his application if you're using him as a driver for Hyper Bloom, a spread DPS. If you are using him for a driver sort of team comp, you are going to want to run him with Kuki Shinobu, Yelan, or Jinkyu, maybe even Kazuha for some swirling of the Hydro or the Electro. For a main DPS, I'm going to run him with Kuki Shinobu for Electro, Kazuha for EM buffing and swirling of Electro, and Yunjin for normal attack damage bonus. Now for our first showcase, we're going to try him out with the Lost Prayers of Sacred Wind. Here are his stats. I am going to be using crit rate food to kind of up the consistency with the 2-piece Deepwood Memories, 2-piece Gilded Dream set. Alright, so let's go ahead and see how this catalyst goes.
As one with wind and cloud.
I'll settle this. Observe. Break a leg.
Taking a turn for the better. Mind the side effects.
Wind strike.
The doctor was seen.
Remember, help comes first.
Alright, for a healer, he did pretty well doing it for 14k. Let's go ahead and do the Kagura's Verity. I'm assuming this is going to be a little bit of the same, maybe even a little bit less damage. Here are his stats. Alright, let's see how this one goes.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The bond is strong.
Clouds high. The birds come.
Lightning check. Looking for a fight? Your grand finale and step.
Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects.
Unleash. The doctor was seen.
Taking a turn for the better.
And step. Strike is one.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Alright, for this one, it did go fairly well, a little bit less damage than the Lost Prayers of Sacred Wind. Now let's go ahead and do the 1000 Floating Dreams. Now, I don't really know how this is going to pan out. We're giving up a lot of crit damage for Elemental Mastery.
Wind strike. Falling leaves. Adorn my nut.
And step. Break a leg.
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects.
Our bond is strong. Observe. The doctor was seen.
A bitter. This is nothing. Mind the.
Out of my way. Stand with me. Strike
swallow. Remember, health comes first. Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow.
I'm actually very surprised this one did more damage than the other two. Now let's go ahead and do a real damage showcase with a little bit of a different team.
Solidify! No rest for the wicked. As one with wind and cloud.
Remember, health comes first. Mind the side effects.
Wings of darkness! Come, sever
Wind strike!
the statue will see you.
Mind the side effects.
Oz, reveal Baizhu!
Stabilize!
By royal decree.
Clouds high! The birds call!
Seems like an emergency. Mind the side effects.
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Wind strike!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Oz, reveal Baizhu! The statue will see you now. By royal decree.
Fallen leaves, adorn!
Remember, health comes first. As you wish, main Fräulein.
Wind strike! Solidify!
Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow.
Gather!
Taking a turn for the better. Mind the side effects.
Midnight Phantasmagoria! Oz, reveal Baizhu!
Stabilize! Wind strike!
A bitter pill to swallow.
The statue will see you.
Clouds high! The birds call! Solidify!
Remember, health comes first. Mind the side effects.
By royal decree. The statue will see you now.
For a healer, Baizhu was a very good main DPS, added some heals into the team and protected them as well. You can see why Denji was such a great element in this game. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.